Hey Teaquilters, it's T with Teaquilts, and I am here on Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. And I forgot to rotate my device before I came live. I have to do it on two different systems. So we're stuck in this orientation today, which means I'm going to have difficulty reading the comments. So let me pull you all up so I can get to that. Okay. Okay. So it looked like I can read the comments. So that's good. I'm trying to figure out who's the first person to comment. It keeps popping up to the top. I'm gonna say it's Melody Kiefer, I guess. That's the first comment that I can see on this screen. And it keeps popping back. And then I've got Deborah Quilts. And then Dolores Feltz. Betsy Layton. Judy Hebert. Bonita Nance. Minnie Dula. Bonita came back and said she's working on her class material for this Saturday, so that's cool. Darcy is here, reminding people to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and also to give me a thumbs up. So thank you, Darcy. Guess who Nancy? I think I read her. See Joy Creations, Vanessa Brown. I'm looking over here because I'm used to my camera being there. Sorry, guys. Ooh wee. And then Vicky Bush is also here. So
Well, you on yourself?
If you listening to me, I said that I forgot to change it to the other orientation. This is their default orientation. This is my husband coming up here asking me, am I doing on my cell phone? Are you listening? You don't listen to me. I told you. I've already announced what the issue is. All right. I'm trying to make sure. All right. Hey, Remo JS, welcome. She's also reminding people to hit the thumbs up, show your love and support, subscribe. You will enjoy. Michelle the Quilter is here. Sue GSD says it's 69 days to the bestest retreat ever. Melinda C is here as well. So today, I have like no topic per se. I'm sewing today. I haven't been in here since Sunday. I did come back Sunday and sew. I sewed on that queen size t-shirt quilt. And while I was live, I had half of it put together. Like, I got 4 rows, so I had 2 rows with the sashings all put together. And now I had to make frames and sew frames. So I sewed the frames on the last 2 rows. And then I also put those last 2 rows together. So they're just sitting here. And then I made the last 2 rows of sashings and cornerstones as well. So everything is ready to sew. I'm going to sew on that on Saturday. What I'm going to sew tonight is, I don't know if you guys remember me making these churn dash blocks. I never did anything with them after I got them made. So I got to get this done. And I was trying to debate whether I wanted to put a blue spacer in between or white. And I ended up going with the white spacer. So I'm just going to sew these little 1-inch strips, which is going to be a 1/2 inch finished. These just need to be sewed all in one row. No strip on the outside because I have to see how much extra I need to add on the outside. So I just need 11 of these. I think I just cut whatever it would cut. I think it's 12. So that's what I have. So that's what I'm going to be sewing today. Let me check and see who else have come into the room here. Dee Branson, Zandra. I think I said Francis. Phyllis G, Maddie Barnum. So yeah. So let's see. I want to sew these so that I'm going. It doesn't really matter because, you know, they're the same, but I like to have my last seam sewn be across the top. Just a personal preference, you know. I put my borders on sides first, then top and bottom. There is no right or wrong way to it. It's just what I like to do. So, I have, again, 12 of these blocks that I made. I'm just going to sew them together. All right. And I have not oiled my machine. I'm just sitting in here finna put her through the paces, okay? What have I been doing quilting wise? I already talked about working on the t-shirt quilts. I quilted another quilt, so I got a total of 6 I got to give back now. And I'm in the process of quilting one right now. Well, I got one loaded. I'm not quilting. I'm waiting on a response back for quilting. I can't even sew until I get the strings off. Okay, that's how much of a string fanatic I am. It's like, you gotta get rid of the strings. I'm using Kona solids, and I did not pre-wash them. If you pre-wash them, they will not fray as much as they're fraying if I had pre-washed them, but I did not. I was lazy. So they're fraying a little bit. What did I just hit? My brother is in here saying hi to everyone. What nice weather today. I wouldn't know because I haven't even been outside. I stepped on my porch to feed the kitty at 3 o'clock. I just got out of the tub and then I'm ready for bed. I like taking baths. I was in there for an hour. I was like, girl, you got to get out of here. I got to eat now. I ate some Fritos because at 6:15 I realized I hadn't eaten. So I got to figure out what I'm going to eat. And now I got some apple cider there just to give me some sugar. In case, you know, it gets rough in here. Hi, Sheila Willis. Would you like a list of some of the items I am bringing to retreat for giveaways? Yes, it's sort of kind of like, I guess, yeah, like a number count or something. I don't know if I'm going to do it late May or early June, but I got somebody that's going to come help me with sorting through those and making sure that, like, whatever is donated, say that I've got a total of 28 items, and then I've got 32 people that I know to put 4 more things in there so that everybody gets something. So a number count will help as well, if you can. And then the other stuff, I will just, if I, stuff that come that I don't know about, we'll just have to wing it while I'm there, or it'll have to be given out at the next retreat or something like that. But I want to make sure I'm not giving out something where everybody doesn't have something. Hi, Deborah Holloway and Monty Pep. YouTube looks different today because this lady here, y'all just don't understand what it takes to do a video. In order for me not to have trolls in here commenting, I have to schedule my lives on my desktop, on my laptop, on my iPad, on my phone. It will not give me that option. So I have to go to my desktop to schedule. However, on my desktop, it won't give me the option to change it, to change the direction. The default is vertical, which is what we're looking at. I have to then go onto my iPad or my phone to change this orientation to horizontal. Okay, YouTube is in control. And sometimes I forget that. Well, today I forgot. All the other times I've been doing it, but today I forgot. So it's my fault that it's messed up today, but it is what it is. I can't change it once I'm live. Once I hit the go live button, I have no way of changing it. It tells me to turn my camera, or it's just a black screen. It won't let me change it at that point. So I just messed it up today. I forgot. And I haven't done it for Saturday because I went and put both of them in at the same time yesterday. But then I forgot to change the orientation. It's too much. YouTube wants us to record in this format because then they can make shorts, or you can make shorts of your videos. But then it looks horrible for viewing purposes. It looks very good on my iPad, but everywhere else, the television, and I don't know what's going to happen to it when it goes live, if it'll switch back on its own. I don't know. So it's just weird. YouTube madness. Cut my iron on. I forgot about that. I've been still clipping my nails as they're growing, trying to get them to grow down. They're getting really close now. I'd say about halfway, because I'm clipping them, but I'm not trying to clip them like super short so that, I have to be able to keep under my nails clean. So I'm not trying to cut them too short. So as they growing, I'm chopping them off. And I can take the polish off, but the polish helps me know where my new nail is. So that's kind of what's going on. So my hands are gonna look raggedy for a minute. I might get them done next week. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Sharon Lewis is here. Oh, okay. Okay, Sharon Lewis, I see your comment. And I do have more I can send as well. Those were just some of the ones that I already had pictures of. I'm trying to get a feel for what type of quilting you like. If you like geometric, if you like florals or foliage, curvy stuff like spirals or curls. So I'm just trying to get a feel for what type of quilting do you like. Because your quilt top can go any direction you want it to go. All right. Barb Steed is here. Says watching YouTube on big screen. Yay. I bet the orientation is all screwed up on there. I apologize. Like I said, it's too much to do. It's enough that we gotta, do all the stuff we gotta do. And then they're just adding extra steps in. Like, why doesn't my phone device have all these features so that I can just do it from my phone? I don't get it. I didn't even count these to make sure I had 12. We will be finding out shortly. Alright, this is the last one that doesn't need one on the end. Hey, Teresa Forrester. Wait a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so I got all 12. This one doesn't have one on it yet because it's going to be on the end. So we will press these. Got my cord on my press surface. So what projects are you guys working on? What did I say I was doing? Oh, quilting. I feel like I was doing something else, but I can't remember right now. Oh, the other t-shirt quilt. I haven't done, I was just since last Saturday. So. Oh, I did taxes. That's what I did. I did my brother's taxes. I haven't even done my own. If you don't owe, it's no big deal. So, just got 3 years to file them if you don't owe. So that's what I need to do, is file my taxes for myself. Ooh. I just needed a little spacer in between them. Nothing's super fancy. And like I said, these are all going in one long row. Let's see. Hey, Katie Greenland Quilter. She says y'all hit the thumbs up and like button to help T's channel out. It really does help. She's prepping for a continuum, trying to get finished with my Stronger Together 2024, working on PMQs, out my ears and prepping for a new quilt sew along for a channel. So that's cool. I wasn't that taken with the Stronger Together this year, and I decided I wasn't going to do it. I did download the pattern just in case. Later I decide, but right now it was like, I'm not quite feeling that right now. Alright, so we're going to be sewing these things together into pairs. Since I have 12, it will be very easy to do. Okay, I have to take this one off so I can press it. Hi, Helena Carter. Did you get the t-shirt quilt on the long arm? No. Because I haven't heard from the lady that about what she wants on the label. So no, I have not. But I got it ready. I got batting cut for the first one. I even got batting cut for the second one I'm doing here, the queen size, because I needed to cut some black batting. So I'm putting black batting in this one, since I got black sashing and a whole lot of black shirts. I decided to put black batting in the queen size one. So everything is ready to go. I just need to make the I do machine embroidered labels and put the information on there, and I like to do the labels before I quilt it so that it's quilted into the label. You can't take the label off. So yeah. So that's what's holding up that. Oops, I don't need that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Katie saying she won the AGF Fat Quarter Bundle from Stronger Together. That's pretty cool. Oh, and I'm in the process of binding the exploding star quilt so he can be taken to its new home. You mean exploding heart? Remo says, is she talking to somebody else? Iris Cell Lady is here. Welcome, welcome. Don't know if I said that or not. Yes. Oops. Gotta lift my pressing foot. Woo-woo. Won't take long to get this done today. And then I could also pin my sashings on there too, if I want to be prolific, you know. And then this last one on the end without a sashing, beginning and end, does not have one. And you can't even hardly see any of my machine. Whoa, that wasn't pretty. Hold on. O-M to the G. Ooh-wee. You all fell off the couch. Okay, so we're gonna press everything toward the sashing here. Hey, Vivian Calvi. And Kevin talking about the background on these blocks match Miss T's fingernails. Miss T's fingernails are sad right now. So this is all I'm trying to do is put a little spacer in between these so that they weren't bumping right up against each other at the points. So I guess it's gonna be a quilt, but it's more this is gonna be more of a display, not, you know, not like your regular quilt. This is something I want to put across the top of something else. I think I talked about it a long time ago, but I don't have it in here right now. Might be right outside my, well, it's in my long warm room now that I think about it. I was thinking that it was right outside my room, but it's not. It's in the long warm room. I thought about bringing it in here and I did not. So we'll get these 4 pressed, and then I'll get those other 2 off once I sew these together. Did I say Diane 57 was here early? I hope I didn't miss your name, Diane 57. Let me go back. I did miss your name. She said she's still working on chain link. And let me go back before that just to make sure, because if I missed it, I'm not trying to do that on purpose. The screen is rolling. She is crocheting a baby blanket. Aww, that's cool. That is too cool. Teresa's asking me if this is my own design. For the basic churn dash blocks, yes. You can make churn dash blocks any size you want. I made these 8 inches. And I used my, except for the rectangles. I'll hold it up in a minute. Except for the rectangles, I cut everything with my 8-inch cube. Well, I cut the half square triangles with my 8-inch cube, and then the 8-inch triangle. I used the 8-inch cube to make my half square triangles. They finish at 2 inches. And then the 8-inch cube also has a 4.5-inch square. So that's what's in my center. What I didn't have was a 1 by 1.5 by 4.5. I had to cut this by hand, these rectangles. So that's what I cut by hand. But you can make a churn dash any size you like. A true churn dash, if these are 2 inches, if this is 2 inches, your half square triangles, this doubles that. So it would be 4 inches right here. So if this was 3-inch half square triangles, then this would be 6 inches wide. You're using twice as much space. That's a true turn dash. They've got like the shoe fly block that's very similar, where all the sizes are the same size. It doesn't, some of them, they make the shoe fly without this. They just put 1 piece there. It just depends on what you're doing. So sometimes people get the shoe fly block mixed up with the churn dash block. I needed a churn dash. So I'm going to be finishing this early. So I'll go get my other piece that this goes on, although I'm not ready to put it on there because I need to measure and see how much I need to put on the outside. So, but I'll go get it and show it to you all again because it's been a while. I made these blocks and forgot, okay? This is something else I needed for retreat. All right. Let's see. Quit talking about your dad, Kevin. Yeah, Diane, I didn't know. I saw your name and then it like skipped while I'm sitting here doing stuff. And then I'm like, I never did go back. So I'm not ignoring your name. My screen is just rolling. And I can only see so much of the comments on my phone. I keep forgetting I have to scroll back sometimes. Yes, Francis says she has a banner that she's adding the churn dash to the top of. Right. I should have put on the shirt today, but I did not. It's like if I put on the shirt, then I have to wash it, you know. Hi, Lady Crafts. Saying that she gets the shoe fly and the churn dash block mixed up. A lot of people do. So, you're not the only one. I had somebody in one of the Zoom meetings we were doing on Sunday. Which I need to sign up for Zoom so we can start back doing that. This one. But yeah, I had to say, oh, that's not churn dash. That's something else. It was the regular 9-patch block. Which is the shoe fly. Okay, that's my end. And this goes over here. And the other end is on the machine. And I'm planning on doing something with the center white space of the churn dash. And I'm trying to figure out how to best do that. Because it's going to be quilted after the fact. So we'll see. I don't know about that one yet. I did get a suggestion from somebody Saturday. So it's just something that I have to see. And I might want to do 1, 2, 3 of them now. Whew. All right. So we're going to put this one on here. But I have to measure this and see. I don't know. I just sewed some panels together. And I sewed like 3 lengths of fabric together. And I had to trim it so that it all lined up. So I'm not sure. I want to make sure. I'm not sure how wide it is. So I don't know how wide I need this. I know what this measures once I sew everything together. but I don't know what size the other piece is, so I'm stuck right now. And if it's short, I'll just take off an end block. I mean, if this is too long, I'll take off an end block, but it shouldn't be. I'm hoping. When I first did this, I didn't calculate in that I was going to put a sashing in here. But it shouldn't take off. It shouldn't be too long. Hopefully. So I'm going to go get it so I can show it to you guys. It's not anything fancy. And I got on sleeping clothes. Alright, so this is some fabric that I ordered from a company. I can't remember right now who it was. It was not Spoonflower. But it's just this fabric that's Teaquilts Quilt Retreats in the Loo. And in here is that churn dash on the arch right here. So I cut this. I don't know. I just cut a length off. Long as it was longer than 96 inches, because this is going to end up being like a backdrop for photos. We'll probably go outside and take photos behind this at retreat or something. I don't know where yet. But I had to sew, because in order to make it big enough, I sewed, this is one whole width of fabric right here. And I know you're looking at the wrong side, but it is what it is. And so then I got that on the other side, but this is what's in the center. So 40, 90, something here to 100. So I don't know what this is. Hold on. And I'm assuming this fabric was 40 inches, but we'll see. Let's see. So yeah, it's like 100 inches right here. 12 times 8 is 96. And then I added in, see, 11 half inches, which makes 5.5. So this might be a little too long. We'll see what this turns out to be, because I don't have anything here that I can measure this. Let me see. Let's see, hold on. Let's go back to the middle. Let's just put a pin in the middle. We can just rough pin it on here and we'll know right now what I gotta do. Rough pin it. So we'll put a pin in the middle. And I still got it on a sewing machine, so let me cut it off of here and press these two seams I didn't press. Okay, so we can figure this out now. Because once I sew this onto that, if I have to add spacers on the end, I will. If I don't, it's ready to be quilted. I already got the backing cut from 108. So I need to get this quilted. This was one of the things that was on my retreat to-do list. So so now I've got this. All I got to do is fold this in half and find center, which is looking like this, just a row of churn dashes. And like I said, something is supposed to go in the middle. I just need to make sure when I do it that they all look the same. All right. Okay. So we go right here. And then in the middle of this half is half. Don't lose it, girl. Just put a pin here, because you know how we can drop something and then we have to start back over. All right. So I just want to see roughly how they're lining up. So these are my two centers. Line up these two pins, take one out, and re-stick it. And I'm just going to use this royal blue on the back. I already had, I bought it for this royal blue 108, so I'm like, may as well use it. I bought it, you know, for some other stuff too, but I bought a whole bolt. So that's what we're doing. And I'm just making sure I keep everything nice and flat, no pulling. Let's see what the comments are. Y'all just commenting. Leetta Bryan is here. Hey, I was just talking about you with Gwen Clopton today. Telling her that, you know, I still see you. T. Roberts is here. I like the shirt you have on, T. Thank you. It's the quilting queen. Michelle the quilter is talking to somebody else. Purple and pink are right up her alley. Melissa says, hi T, the churn dash rolls are looking good. Thank you, thank you. Teresa says, well, that's perfect idea. Yeah. It only took me my third retreat to figure out, like, you need a backdrop. And I could have ordered one and it took me a whole lot less time. Like, I wouldn't have had to do a darn thing, right? But of course, I'm like, it's got to be quilted if it's a retreat. Come on. You can't go buy one of the things you hang up there. I could have done that and been done. Oh, I got plenty of room to put more. So, I got plenty of inches. So, I must have cut it wider or made it wider, which it doesn't matter. Okay, let's see how many inches is this. It's like 5 inches. So if I cut a 5.5 inch piece on that side, let's see if it measures up on this side. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a backdrop. So let's go the other way. And I'm just going to do some kind of geometric all over design. It doesn't need fancy quilting either, because I don't want the quilting to take away from the logos. Sean from Go Savvy Quilt. What did I just lost it? Where did it go? Oh my goodness. I guess I went down. Okay. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe I'm okay. She just said right. Go Savvy Designs, okay? Goodness gracious. I hate my screen this way. Great idea for a backdrop. That's from Michelle. Says, I love to make churn dash blocks. Yeah, churn dash is one of my favorite blocks. And I guess because I started out as a sampler quilt maker. And for some reason, I just like that block. There's nothing fancy about the churn dash block. I just like it. And when I did my retreat logo, the Teaquilts retreat logo, I had put that churn dash up in the arch. So then that's why I'm pulling it back into the quilt in the backdrop some kind of way. I almost dropped my scissors on my toes. Glad my foot was sitting up on my chair base. Trying to see if I got the same. It's like 4 7/8, you know, 5, cut 5 1/2, you know. That's kind of what I'm working with on the other side. But like I said, this C and this side is shorter. Even though I marked centers, it matches right up. So, what do I do? I'm gonna have to still move it down. That's weird. Like, I cut all of these panels, and because I was trying to cut for the logo, it's not centered right, when you would think that they would all be the same size, but they're not. So all I gotta do is cut 3-inch piece and put on each side, and then that should work. So if I'm short 5 1/2 inches, I got to add in a 1/2 inch because I got to piece it into 2 pieces. So all I got to do is cut 8 1/2 by 3, and then this will fit, and then I'll just have to repin it. So I may as well take the pins out because we already got to repin it. Weird, but it is what it is when you're dealing with you know, printed stuff. And I knew I had my pieces, like my retreat things, are offset, so when I cut my panels, I had to make sure that they stayed that same way, and then I had to trim off the sides from when I had a half panel. So I understand why it's happening. It's just still weird. But I just need 2 pieces 3 inches by 8 1/2, and then I can sew this piece on, and then it'll be ready to quilt. So I gotta add one more piece on here, and I don't think I have that in here. I'll check my bag I just took the blocks out of, see if I got enough material. But again, for those that missed the fabric, this is what the fabric looks like. This is what's on our Teaquilts Retreat t-shirts. It just changes colors every year, and the shirt change color. I don't think I have enough white in here. I got some in my long arm. These are 4-inch pieces, so that's not big enough. And these are just scrap, so I don't have the white in here. I'll get it. Just go cut a 3-inch strip, it'd be enough. So we're not piecing all this stuff together. Nobody has time for that. So these are just the pieces from when I was cutting. And this is the color that's going to be on the back. And then I'm going to do something else with this too. But I thought maybe I had the size on here, but I don't. It's telling me what the size of my blocks are. That's it. So we only got 10 more minutes. I'm not going to sew on the t-shirt quilts. Like I said, I got all of that. I really am ready. I'm just running, sewing, sashing and cornerstone strips in between the last 2 rows. I got the blocks all, everything is already sewed into long rows. Just got to sew the long rows together. Thank you for Diane saying awesome idea, T, for your retreat. And Lady Craft saying like the way that row looks. Thank you. I always feel good to get things on your list done. Yes. So I got, hopefully by the end of the month I'll get, well, like I said, I've been waiting. That's why I'm quilting other quilts. I've been waiting to hear from the people about the quilt labels, and so I'm stalled out from them. But I still got like half of it to piece over here, so it'll be all right. Whatever happens, happens. If she get it in May, she'll get it in May. I was trying to get them to her by the end of the month. But I'm definitely gonna, my next quilt going on the frame after, I just loaded one today. And I haven't started any stitching, just loaded. And then I'm gonna put this one on so I can knock this off my to-do list. Because anything else I do, I don't have to necessarily quilt. Also, whenever you're using white, you want to do something behind it anyway, just so that you don't have whatever's showing behind the white showing. I could technically just put this up on my stand and we could take pictures in front of it, but if it's a sunny day, you're going to see everything that's behind it. Cars, trees, wherever I decide to put it. So you're going to see everything behind it. So that's why I'm putting the blue behind it, so it can also give it so it can tone, be a blocker as well. Didn't want to put white behind it either. Hey, Janet McCarroll. Sean says, love the colors for your backdrop. Quilted backdrop sounds amazing. Yes. And I'm just going to do like a herringbone design, something that's stitched more on a diagonal. The herringbone on a diagonal. I don't want anything that's going to like, any type of quilting that's going to take over the whole thing. So Darcy says, we need more of these. Thumbs up. She's talking about more of those thumbs up. If you haven't already, guys, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button for me, please. We only got a few more minutes left on here today. Hey, Stephanie Harris. T says her rent's paid. Thank you, ma'am. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what else do I need to do. I play with, like in EQ, I play with the design because now I need to know what I'm doing with my Wensleydale block. So I played a little bit in that. Thinking of Wensleydale, Kevin's not going to be able to do the live on Saturday. And I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do it by myself or just reschedule so we can wait for him. I'm always behind Kevin. So we'll see. I haven't fully decided yet what I'm going to do about Saturday, but I might just hold up because I'm always behind anyway. Kevin will get his 30 done, and then I'll still have 2 done or something. I don't work as fast as Kevin because I'm cutting on the live as well as sewing. So we shall see. Hey, Liz Wilson, I haven't seen your name in a while. Can you long arm quilt over the edge turned appliques? Can you long arm quilt over edge turned appliques? Yes, you can. It depends on the quilt and if somebody is willing to like either do it yourself custom or pay for custom, because custom quilting can be very expensive, which is what if you want applique quilt, like quilted to the applique, you're going to be paying about 5 cents per square inch. So if your quilt is 100 by 100, you're going to be paying about $500 in that neighborhood for custom quilting. It depends. Most times when I get people, like I had the row by row quilt, and I knew that my customer didn't want to pay for custom quilting. It's, you know, quilting is expensive. The whole quilting industry is expensive. I don't feel like quilting is expensive because I'm doing it, and when I look at it and I said, okay, I just did this quilt and I'm getting this much, and it's like, it's okay, but you know, I've been working, which most people don't understand. So, but everything in quilting quotes is expensive. Everything that in this craft is expensive, and so I feel like you know, everybody can't afford to get something custom quilted. So I just do all over pintos. Long as there's no beads or stuff like that in it, then I'm okay with doing that. If you've got beads or crystals that you put into your quilt, you don't want to do that prior to quilting. You want to wait until after it's quilted. Otherwise, you're going to be paying for custom quilting. But you can technically quilt on the outside edge of appliques. You can quilt a 1/4 inch outside of that, or you can stitch inside of the appliques if you're doing custom work, or you can just take a panto and go over the appliques. So it's up to you what you want to do with your designs, and I've seen them both ways. I've had them on my own quilt both ways, and I still like the overall design is good too. Just need to get a thread that will, you know, be the best thread, because you're going to always have some area where, you know, that particular thread may not work. But if it works for 90% of your quilt, then that's fine. So, but yes, you can stitch over any applique. I will make sure, like, my concern would be, a lot of people don't think about fusible applique until it comes time for quilting. And if you're putting on layers, like say you're making a flower that's a posy flower, and then you're going to put a circle in the middle, and then you've got fusible on the circle in the middle as well. The fusible is now 2 layers, and some stuff you're lapping over 3 and 4 layers of fusible. When it comes time to quilt that, it's very gummy, and either your needle's going to break, or you're going to have some stitches, or every once in a while it might stitch through it. Eventually your needle's going to get worn out. You're going to have to change needles on a faster basis. I do appliques a little bit different, and I don't have any fusibles in here. I'll just use this piece of paper that don't have anything to help me put this quilt together. But I'm just gonna draw, you know, this is my posy flower, okay? Now, when I trace this out on Fusible, I'm gonna trace this outside edge onto the paper side of my Fusible web, and then I'm gonna iron. When I cut this out, you're gonna cut this out, and you won't have the center on this one. So let me draw it again. Just anything. So this is my flower, and then you're gonna cut it out on the line after you trace it right onto the paper side of Fusible web. What I like to do is go back in on the inside of my line. I'm just doing this rough. And I like to cut out all of that Fusible out of the center. So my little dash marks on here, I would cut that piece out the middle so that I'm not, all of this in here, I'm taking out the Fusible. So all I've got now is just this outline of a ring. And then I iron that onto the back of my fabric. So when I go to put this circle in the middle, there is no Fusible in that middle because I removed the middle. So therefore, I'm still only dealing with 1 layer of Fusible. So if you keep putting, piling on Fusible, on Fusible, on Fusible, and I know we do make a whole lot of collage quilts and all of that, but they don't heavily quilt those. And if you have skip stitches in that, you're not going to see it. But if you put layer on layer and you're doing flowers, flower petals, and you're constantly putting layer and layer of fusible web, it's a chance that it could show up. And it depends on your brand of fusible as well, because they're making them even better quality now. I'm cheap. Unless I'm doing a collage, I use Heat and Bond Light. If I'm doing a collage, I'll use Steamer Seam 2 Light, because it will accept more layers for collage type quilting. They have some other fusibles that have come out that, you know, I'm not one to, unless I'm testing for you all on YouTube, I'm not one of those to just go out and buy the new product. If what I have is working the way that I use it, then I don't worry about the other parts, because when I cut this center out of here, guess where I'm tracing my circle on? This piece that came out the middle. So I'm actually saving product. I'm using those pieces for some of the smaller, the inner pieces that I'm cutting out. I'm using them for some of the other smaller pieces that are in my pattern. So it's like you're saving money too by doing that. Sean says that she loves making some designs. I have been looking at EQ. Yeah, I use EQ, like even for my t-shirt thing that's sitting up here, for basic stuff. The colors, I didn't put the t-shirts in there because it's a one-time deal, but I know what color shirt goes into that particular spot, so I can kind of know what I'm dealing with as I'm pulling shirts from my bag. I know, okay, this shirt, it goes here, here, here. So I'm always referring to it as I'm putting my quilt together. And then it also helps me to know what size my end quilt is going to be if I put it into E-quilt, electric quilt as well. That's what EQ means, electric quilt. Okay. This is, okay, didn't know if it could be done. Yes, but you can overall quilt on top of applique, no problem. And we have what's called, well, you know, most long armers are going to have it, because if they're in a business of long arming somebody's quilt, they're going to have what's called a spoon foot. And the spoon foot helps, it's kind of curved up, whereas our hopper foot is just straight and flat. And what the spoon foot does is it gives us more room when the edges kind of reach up, because it's kind of curved like a spoon. If you put a spoon down, the edges of the spoon is not touching your countertop. And that spoon foot allows us to get under stuff that has a higher height. I mostly use my spoon foot when I'm dealing with polyester batting. And so since I've gotten rid of all of my polyester batting that I was trying to get rid of for charity quilts, I haven't had to use my spoon foot in a while. But if I got like a very thick quilt or very thick seams, then I will put my spoon foot on, because it helps me to get over the hump. Otherwise, my hopper foot will get stuck at it. So it can be done. My brother's saying good night. Liz says, okay, I understand. Thanks for demo. Thank you, Michelle and Liz. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go here. I'm going to go figure out what I'm going to eat. I haven't eaten anything but some Frito corn chips, okay, at 6:15. I'm starving. All right, I'll see you all on Saturday for 2-hour live sewing chat, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm still debating on what's going to happen on Saturday at noon. That's why that live hasn't been scheduled yet. So let me get back to you guys on that. All right. Good night, everybody. You all stay safe, be blessed, and quilt out.